Hello everyone, welcome back to the live class. And in this live class, we're going to learn how to do unwrapping and texture. Usually, mostly focused on unwrapping in Blender, so that you can like unwrap any kind of 3D model using Blender. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. So uh, right now I have a kind of fairly low poly seal model. You can find this if you want to follow along with me. You can get this model from the link in the description. I have provided the link to download this project file, and I have also list down some like open source software. If you want to download a Blender, you can get the link from the description. And for now, I think we don't need a camera and a light, so let's to unwrap thing. First you need to go to the UV editing. That's where all get started. And before that, we are going to kind of unwrap. So before we unwrap the thing, we one thing we need to do is we need to mark a seam. It's kind of mark that from which area we are going to like separate the things to make to easier for in the texturing. If you want to do texture in a Photoshop or Substance Painter, now first what thing you do, you need to like unwrap thing. If you unwrap right now by pressing A and press U and unwrap, it's not a good U map. It's all overlap and we are getting confused which one is which of which, and that's why we need to do is to mark seam. Now how we can do that is by first we need to like select the area from that we want to cut or a mark seam. Like first thing what I want to do is I want to like separate this fin from the body in the UV map. To that you need to select a edge loop or vertex loop. I think each loop is much more efficient than the vertex. So you can select the around the fin, and I'm going to like this. And now we have selected the whole loop, and what we're going to press is we're going to press Ctrl and E, and we're going to click on the mark seam. So after like clicking the mark seam, adding the mark seam, you will find a right outline in that loop you have selected. When we unwrap, it will separate this fin from the body in the UV island separately, and we also want to separate the head from the body, or you can just like unwrap thing from the middle. So let's right now it doesn't make any sense because we have the mirror modifier and we don't need to add a mark seam in this area. But we can do, what we can do is we can uh, separate this, separate the mount like that, and yeah, and we can mark sim. Again, we need to separate uh, this moustache or whisker of the seal. To do that, let's Control L. Oh shit. I think I'm going to separate this whisker as separate mesh. Right now we are in edit mode, so we can separate this by P and separate by selection. Now we have separated the whisker from the body, and go to the object mode, and we are going to select, and now the whisker will be separated from the body. And for the time being, I'm going to hide this, and let's get back to the unwrapping. By separating the whisker, it will make our work much more easier to do texturing. And that's it. And I'm going to unwrap the thing by pressing A and then press U in a keyboard, and then we're going to unwrap it. Now we have got separate mesh. This is the fin, and this is the body, and this is the like mouth area. So let's adjust this. And we're going to little bit scale it down a bit. And we're going to separate this thing, and maybe we can scale a bit. Yep, now we have to unwrap the thing. So let's click a new to create a new UV map. I mean UV island. Let's say seal, and I'm going to increase the resolution for width as well as the height by ×2, and we want to uncheck the alpha, and let's click OK. Yeah. Now we have a UV map. It's ready for the texturing, and that's how you do the unwrapping thing. So now we are going to add a texture on it. So to add a texture, we're going to hand paint the texture in a blender. Right now it's showing pink because it does not have any material on it. Usually pink shows that the material is absent and there is no material. That's why it shows the pink. Whenever you see the model in pink color, that means you, one thing is you didn't sign the material, or maybe you have like Blender could not find the texture file for that for that particular model. So for that we are going to add material to the seal. For that we are going to first we have split the screens, and then we are going to for shader editor to edit, and for the space we are going to map for text print. Yeah, in this case in terms of we're going we need to add image texture in order to hand paint the model like a substance painter. So let's press shift A, and we're going to go to texture and select the image texture, or you can directly search image texture and then press enter. Now we need to connect this color to the base color, and let me resize. From this area we're going to click on this drop down menu that we have already created the UV island, and we are going to select the UV island that we have created, that we named a seal. Now it shows in a black color. Now we can hand paint the model, and before that what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a color palette that I want to assign to the model. First I'm going to create a base color for the seal. To add to choose a color palette, first we're going to select a kind of gray. We're going to drop down. We're going to play with we're selecting kind of gray color, because usually most of the seal comes in a gray color, maybe a light color, kind towards the ash. And we're going to click on the new, and we're going to add. Now we have set the our base color, and then we're going to create some patches, so that we're going to play with the hue and saturation. A kind of dark blue, I think, and I'm going to choose the darker, and let's increase the value, and we're going to add this color as a secondary color. And again I want to assign to one color that is white, so yeah. And now we have picked selected the base color, and then we are going to paint the whole model like this. If you want to make some detailed texturing, I think I recommend you to use a graphic tablet or a paint tablet or display tablet, any tablet. If you don't have, then it's okay, you can do it with the mouse. Right now I'm doing like hand painting with the mouse, because it's pretty very much simple. So you can also like paint in the UV island, and it will appear in the 3D model like this. Now we are done already with the base color, and then I'm going to add a kind of bluish from the top half, like around this one. Like I'm going to color like kind of blue, add a blue around this area above this one. And it's kind of distracting. And let's choose the blue color, and we're going to increase the radius, and we're going to turn off the pressure because I don't have I'm not using paint tablet right now. Maybe a little bit lower in the strength, yeah, this much. And you can like if you don't like hand painting and you want to save time, you can directly do it with creating material. And in that case you don't need to like use unwrapping if you want and then I'm doing roughly, very much roughly, because it's not a like texture painting. That's why I'm doing pretty rough, like and we can also select, and then we can add a white, like this. And now uh, in the texture properties, I'm going to create a brush which is kind of distort to make some patches around the seal. Like create a new, and let's go let's select the Musgrave, and let's go back to the paint mode, and I'm going to choose a color and then scale it down, and we can yeah, we can have some kind of like texture thing usually in below. Oh no, in terms of some area like this, I'm being pretty rough with that one. Because steel doesn't have a perfectly smooth texture. Let's rough. Like this. And even you can like I don't need this one, so you can also add a eye. You can physically draw the eye. I'm going to increase the strength and let's add eye like this. Yeah, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and right now it's fairly like uniform in terms of smoothness and roughness. Now I'm going to add a roughness texture to the snail because I have some reference in terms of roughness. Snail usually have kind of smooth, like very smooth of from the chest, and it's pretty rough on the faces. That's why it does not reflect. Maybe this eel is like directly come out of the water. In that case, it's kind of like smoother in the fin and rough. There are lots of roughness in the body, and also again it's very smooth in eye and kind of nose, because nose is always kind of it will be wet, so that we can add roughness. By to add roughness, you can click on the plus button and select the roughness. As soon as as soon as you select the roughness, there will be a node which is added in the roughness, which is connected to the roughness, so that we right now it's kind of uniform. If I whether I increase roughness or like make it smooth, it's everything happened in a like uniform way. Right now it's look kind of glossy and glassy, so yeah, so we can tweak that without affecting all the part of the mesh. So let's add the roughness in roughness. So in roughness also I'm going to increase by 2, multiply of 2, and we can uncheck the alpha and click OK. Yeah. Now we have right now kind of fairly to see the roughness, you need to like select the roughness or roughness node, and now we can add a roughness. Before that, there is like two way in roughness, white and a black. The hue and saturation does not affect in roughness node. It's only determined by the value of color. White means it's 100% rough, and if you like paint black, it will give 100% smooth. It's kind of middle, then it's towards like half, and if you like paint more towards the darkness, then it will give more smoother and little roughness. And in the eye we are going to paint total black. Right now, if you yeah, it's done. I think if you sometimes if you can't see like in crevices and in cavities, what you can do is you can press Control Shift and then brush in the note so that we can see the which part is painted or which part is not painted, like this. So if I paint white, then it's 100% rough, like that. But right now I can see clearly, and I also want to see the which part of the mesh is eye. Right now I don't have any dedicated eyes, that's why I'm going to paint in a texture mode, like without any. It's, yeah, white means rough, and let's check black, and then we can have a very nice roughness in terms of. Now we have some glossy eye. And usually this part will be kind of gray and nose will be kind of black. I didn't paint, so let me paint the nose and the mouth area. Right now it's, if I paint directly, it's only affect in the roughness, because to paint the texture we need to select the note with the texture. So yeah, so if you select roughness, then it will only like add roughness to the mesh, and you need to select the image texture that you have created earlier with the UV island. And then I'm going to paint fairly dark, and it's going to be part of nose, yeah, like this. And let's increase the brush size, and we can create like a mouth like this. And let's bring up the value, and let's crease, it's too much, no kind of crease, right? And we are going to paint, maybe this crease much more better. I'll paint this side, yeah. Now right now I modeled, I paint directly on the 3D model, and it's messed up, so I'm going to undo it, and I'm going to paint it in a UV map, UV island, and that's it. It's pretty clean. One thing is, you need to be very careful if you have the islands are pretty close, then it will affect the area. For example, if there is like this, then it's going to affect the, see, affect the other mesh. So you need to be very careful when you like directly paint on the UV island. And it's kind of rough, yeah. Now let's like the roughness node, and let's paint smooth. Let's make it smooth in terms of nose. Nose area, it's usually it can be very smooth because of the moist. I think it's great, like it's very glossy, and this much is very good, I think. And that's looking pretty neat. And let's give let's increase the brush size by pressing F, and then you can drag your mouse, and let's give some smoothness. Underneath it will be kind of smooth. I'm going to smooth out the belly, some part of the fin. Again, we are going to add a new texture brush and go to Musgrave, and let's bring down the scale because roughness does not will be some part of the area will be very smooth, some will be very rough. And let's make the thing kind of increase the brush size. Yeah. Let me make a transition. And let's unhide the whisker by pressing Alt H. Oh, not showing because we are in text paint mode. Right now, whisker is also affecting the color of the body. What we can do is we can like go to shader and we can add a new material. Right now it's sharing the material same like the body, and I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to delete this and create a new texture, and in terms like let's say kind of gray, maybe black. Now we have black whisker, and whiskers can be kind of smooth, like maybe 0.3. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. And I think we need to redo because it's also deleted the roughness node. I think let's select the whisker and delete and add a new. Let's make the roughness first around 0.3 and kind of more towards black. Yeah. And that's it for today's tutorial video, and hope you like it. One thing is I wanna like inform or make kinda it's like a announcement that in the next live, which is in the date 15, we're going to show the like full tutorial video on how to create ice cream. I have already made the sample. We're going to make this ice cream using Blender geometry node and the cream, and we are going to how to texture it, then how to model it. And yep, it will start from the date 15, so you can come at maybe 2 p.m. every day, except there's one in 18, but in 18 we are going to do in the morning, but we use it for this course. I'm going to start it from the date 15, that is Monday, and you can come in live. It will be like full tutorial from the scratch till render, and that's it for the information that I want to give. And also it's today's live is this much, and see you in the next live class. So hope you enjoyed, and let's see on date 15. Thank you for staying with me till now. Like, yeah, see you next time. Good. Have a nice weekend.